Let's experience the game, Stanley Parable. I'm not going to be holding back. I'm going to play my way, exploring everything I want, ignoring everything I don't want to explore, and doing my little things. So now that we're here, we can choose the screen, subtitle, and language. Let's choose English, shall we? I cannot speak any of these other languages, and I don't think the narrator can either, so it wouldn't make sense anyway. Have you played the Stanley Parable before? Yes. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. I guess we are golden, or maybe like this, barely visible. Yeah, perfect. Enter the current time. What time is it? Let's 17:58. Wait, so it's like 5:58. No, it's 5:58 p.m. Maybe just go with 5:59 now. No, for 5:59. Perfect. Note, accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. Accessibility can be okay. You never know what is serious and what is not. So far, it looks serious. Also, look at that. Look at how it is recurring in here. Oh my god, my avatar is not recurring. Well, that's a bummer. Alastris, edit it so that my avatar is recurring in each of these monitors. Do it right now, somehow. Make it happen. Alastris? Hello? Yes, right now. Of course, right now. We're live. What do you want to do it later? This is not possible. Not with that attitude. Oh my god. Let's just begin the game. I have my coffee. I have my water. I even have my drinkable yogurt here. So let's go. Begin the game. The end is never the end. It's 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 never. Oh.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
So calming.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, so one thing that I'm going to say, there is going to be if you like the voice of this guy, then you're for a treat, because there is going to be a lot of him talking. If you don't like his voice, yeah, it's gonna be tough. Anyway, Alastair was kind enough to make a thumbnail for me, so I'm just gonna hide under the table, just like in the thumbnail, just look for a while, a little bit. But yeah, we have a lot of various reports in here. Cannot zoom, can I? No. So, even in this intro, I'm kind of thinking, isn't it just most of the people that work somewhat with computers, aren't we doing the same job as Stanley? Just pushing buttons on the keyboard as we are ordered? This is parallel for life, isn't it? Oh.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that.
Not the responsibility.
No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy.
You like his office. Man, I gotta say, this game delivered Backrooms experience before even Backrooms were a thing. That's for sure. Like the carpet in here, straight up Backrooms shit. I need to swear less. I'm a professional, okay? I'm a consultant. From now on, I will act the part. No more swearing. Whenever I swear, unless this is going to do something bad to me. Okay, that sounds kinky. That's not what I meant. We chose one of the shortest endings, by the way. It's not a true ending, but debatably there is no ending, but like, I'm going to spoil this right away, so just so the people who don't know the game maybe are not confused that much. This game is about chasing various endings by making various choices during your gameplay, and closing the door or refusing to step outside of your comfort bubble is one of the endings. So if I resume the game now, we can reach that ending, because I closed the door to the office.
Forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do.
Push the button, Stanley.
Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
And just like that, the first ending. He is important. He doesn't have to sit in an open office. He has its own room. And it looks more like a storage, to be honest. But yeah, I know what you mean. Oftentimes, like, open office are okay. Okay, I will step outside of the door. All right. So look at this.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Look at this, by the way.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Look at this. All of this. Alright, let me disable this. Perfect. This isn't too bad. Like, probably if you have open office like this is probably because those people who are sitting here, they need to work together. But it would be still better to have like your own office, but oftentimes you can just find a couple of people working from the same office anyway. So it varies, right? I know a game quite a bit. I also know that there is one thing that you can get to, and that is... So I was talking about this the other day, that this is the game, well, some perceive it as a little cute joke game, but in fact, Stanley Parable is actually a huge lesson about the game design itself. And it really bursts your bubble about what it means to have game with with like multiple choices, with open endings and that sort of stuff. Maybe now with AI, I believe that if AI could be used correctly, maybe you will have truly like experience with like your own choices. But until now, and I think AI is not that far yet anyway. Whenever you're playing a game, you're stuck in a box, right? And even if the game is like as huge as Baldur's Gate 3, for example, with like a lot of possibilities and a lot of choices that you can make, you will still be confined within that box. You cannot step outside of the box. So the only thing that you can do is like to choose your own labyrinth, how to get through the box. You never can leave the box. Sometimes you can actually make a choice that is outside of the scope of the developer, and probably means that you somehow bug the game. You know, you fall out of boundaries, or maybe pass through wall that wasn't there properly, or do something that you stuck yourself and get yourself outside of the box, quote unquote, but it just means you broke the game. This game knew this, and because players were able to do what I'm doing right now, and to actually get outside of the scope of the map, developers found out about it and made a different ending out of it. Several endings, actually. So what we can do... Boop. And yeah, we are outside of the boundaries.
Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
Yeah, naturally.
He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary
what an
into
insightful.
the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now
I
that
love
you're
this
here,
so
what
much.
do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
I'm drinking it.
Okay, I'm with it now. What do
so
you think?
good,
Are you sick
so
of this
good.
gag yet?
Are you sick of this gaga? If you say, I think there is like only one ending, you can say no, and that means you will be just keep on.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought
Sorry,
of it
my
if I
brain
hadn't
hurts.
brought up the issue in the first place. Oh,
I don't
now, think
have
about
enough
it.
caffeine for
Would
this,
it be
bro.
worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this
I
is
know.
which perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed,
Yeah,
you are one
sometimes
of the lucky
he
ones.
goes on a
Though
tantrum
if
like
the
this.
other option is really miserable
cannot-
to
I
listen
cannot really
to,
stop
then
him.
perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening
So, I'm not going to be talking as much as the narrator in this game, obviously. Now, that would be quite a feat because he just won't shut up. But there is one important distinction. Everything in this game is set up in a way that narrator is the story. Narrator is the core gameplay loop. Narrator is the game itself. Everything else is just scenery for him to shine. So we will be hearing his voice a lot. Just prepare for that. The game is about that. The game is about listening. And I guess there is some sort of humbling experience in that, because if you want to know what's going on, you need to stop, you need to listen, which especially in this day and age of HD, ADHD, or whatever you call it, you know, brain rot and stuff, where everything like shiny is being thrown at us with a lot of like colors and shocking value and loud noises. We have Stanley Parable, where the game is about the British dude just talking and talking, and you having to listen, just not to be confused. And even if you do listen, you're still confused sometimes. But you need to pay attention, and there is no like dopamine rush. Most of the time, like 90% of this game is completely like rush-free, completely dopamine-free. There are a couple of sections that are kind of with illusion of pressure and stuff, but that's not what this game is about. And this is what I like about it. This is why it is such an unique experience. Let's resume to the yapping of the well-spoken British man.
to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Well, it will get boring rather quickly if you just sat here, right? I wonder if you like sitting here for like a minute or two, he will start there complaining that you are not doing anything, that he didn't like man that one choice literally. But luckily I have you guys that I can talk to. So yeah. Are we sick of this gag yet? What do you think? Are we sick of this gag yet? Yes or no? No pressure. We can take all the time we need. I'm actually kind of curious if us just standing here not doing anything will trigger some sort of dialogue that I might have not heard before. So this white screen with this like windows in the background and these things, it's not really good representation of the game, because for what it is, especially originally built on Half-Life engine, the Stanley Parable has kind of lots and lots of interesting, amusing and kind of entertaining areas. This is not one of them. This is literally just a wide open space. It's on purpose. And I think it wasn't even in original mod. Like, the original mod was through testament, through beta test. People were playing it and they were finding various ways to break the game. And whenever they did, the developer, instead of fixing it, they would make something like this. There will be another thing like this later, and I hope we're gonna get that, because that ending is awesome. Wait, I cannot. What the hell is happening? Wait, I really need to... Let's begin the game again. I guess this was the ending. We cannot do anything. I got played. Well, no, bro. No. Now we're doing this again. We're doing this again.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Where is it? No, I'm not going to the meeting room. I'm going here.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard
Shut
this
up,
narration
Alastair.
and realized it was part of the game's design.
I
all
thought
along.
I was smarter
He
than the
then
narrator,
praised the
but you cannot be smarter than the narrator in this game, because it is his game, right? I cannot beat him in his own game, but players will always try. This is also a huge paradox, and it's incredibly funny, the fact about this game, that people will naturally try hover towards doing exactly opposite of what narrator is telling them, even if narrator is telling them that he means well. And it is true, because the ending he is giving you to is rather like considering like a considered canon ending and considered like a good ending, kind of. But most players, we are like, don't tell me what to do. I have my own ego. I want to do what I want. I'm going to do exactly opposite of what you tell me, because I don't like your face. Why I don't like you? I don't know, because you're telling me what to do. So I'm going to do quite the opposite. But this is kind of the point of the game. You cannot win. You cannot do anything rebellious, because everything you do is accounted for. And I think a lot of people realize this after playing this game for a while. That not only they don't hate the narrator, they realize they are being played, they are being beaten in their own game, because the game was never theirs to begin with. And what is important, all of the choices, you eventually will try to go and get all of the choices done, because you are A, curious what's happening, and B, because you realize that no matter what you do, anything you do is a kind of positive progress of this game. And that is very, very like, not revealing, but like empowering feeling. You realize that you are not doing anything that doesn't make sense. You are not doing anything that would waste your time. You are, whatever you do, you are just experiencing something new. And eventually you will get in sync with the Davey who wrote this game and the narrator who is narrating this game to you. And before you know it, you realize that you are not doing quite opposite of what they intended you to do. Rather, you are cooperating with them to reach all of the endings, to reach all of the adventures that this game has to offer for you. And there is a lesson in game design, or even not just video game design, but like the game design, or what kind of like any kind of like social deduction game story there is. It's just about what kind of original ideas can you cramp into the game, and how make people to reach it, and what endings are maybe hidden, and how to reach those hidden endings. What have you missed, perhaps? All of those things. This is really a wonderful game. It makes you think, but not in sort of like logically puzzling game, and this is not even an action game either. It's just a game. It's just a philosophical game. It's hard. It's making you think. Anyway, I will stop yapping and I will pass the yapping to the other yapper. There we go. Yap away, narrator.
Game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yeah, I kinda am sick of this gag, yeah.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like, right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so
Nobody
many
likes a
more,
Gwitter,
all of them
okay?
are
Nobody likes a
appropriate.
Gwitter, dude.
I'm enjoying what seems
Not
to be
good,
an
eh?
internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires, restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Okay.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly.
So I am Solman,
But the
I agree.
truth must be told, he was not very old
I'm-
was quite particularly
Thank you for calling
What
me
Stanley
young,
liked most
though.
was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton.
I like pushing buttons, yes.
Did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function.
Which
is why he is in this
the
parable.
intellect. Now you're insulting my intellect. Oh, how very clever of you. I would never have seen this coming. Carry on.
And lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
Oh man, what a masterpiece. It's catchy. It's catchy tune. It's like the old traditional Spanish guitar song. Like, I have nothing to complain. Maybe the lyrics and a little bit of presentation from the singer could have been practiced a little bit better, but other than that, it was a top-notch performance. I would pay $5 for a whole concerto, honestly. Alright, so these are the two quote-unquote endings. I love that the developer didn't even put it in the proper ending, because you recognize proper ending by a loading screen that will bring you back to your office. In both cases right here, what actually happens is you need to begin the game again, so it's not a proper ending, but it doesn't really matter, because it is considered as a proper ending by the community. So, one interesting game, the original Stanley Parable, was modification for Half-Life, and then when Stanley Parable originally came as a standalone game, it still used Half-Life engine, the source engine, and however, this new Ultra Deluxe edition is actually using Unity. I don't know why, I don't know, maybe Unity is like a better game engine or whatnot, but must have been a lot of work to translate all, not necessarily assets, because translating assets once you have them is easy, but all of the, it still looks and feels like a source engine, but it is Unity engine, which is kind of baffling to me. And I specifically, because somebody told me that this has been done on Unity and I didn't believe them, I specifically had to research on it and they were correct. The Deluxe edition is made on Unity. It's no longer a source engine of Half-Life. Also, like all of these DCP reports is like the Office Space reference, and they're like everywhere. They're like reports, papers, and none of that makes sense. And look at the nice like backroomy.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yeah,
What
alright,
could it
sure.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Okay, sure. It really looks like back rooms in here, by the way. Just look at all this. It doesn't make sense. These office spaces doesn't make sense at all. Awaiting input. Let's put it in input. Input received. Nice. I can touch everything, by the way. Let me touch. Touchy. It's like a door that you can click repeatedly to get an achievement. I think it's these ones. Not quite sure. But maybe because I have achievement, I am no longer gonna get that interaction. Was it this one's done? Or maybe this one's? No. I wanna find the achievement. Also, I remember in the original game, and I think it's possible in this one too, sometimes when you go in here, you can see somebody walking by this corridor. Now I know it's Stanley, but in the original game, the Stanley wasn't really seen as much as he is in this one. But you see just Stanley walking here in a game where the premonition is that You are all alone. It was kinda scary, to be perfectly honest. Also, this door says 4B6. Why is it B? It gave you nearly heart attack, you saw it as well? Yeah. It was surprisingly scary for a non-horror game. There are some horror elements in like this game, but it's not really anything serious. And there are certainly not the jump scares. Yeah, it was in the original one. It wasn't in the deluxe edition. The deluxe edition actually came quite recently. I mean, it's going to be a few years. But the original one was where I fell in love with it. Just one...
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
Oh, there we go.
Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Okay, let's do it 20 times now. Was it these ones or the ones next to me? Maybe it was these ones. 430, right?
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing
Oh,
true
really?
effort
Really?
for a noble
Okay.
cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Does it mean like I have to start over? Or let's mark like 25 clicks that I've already done, already count. Let's count it, okay? It's 5. It was 25, but...
No, I'm still not feeling it.
Okay.
I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
So 20 on 417. So 417 is over there. I'm on it, my man.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437, sure. Where's 437? It's probably going to be somewhere outside, no? No, where 437, bro? Don't worry, I'm on my way. He has to be somewhere around. Where's 437? Oh, it's here. Okay.
Excellent.
Clicking.
I think we're
Yes.
getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Okay, I'm locked in. We cannot fail this. Not now. Not when we've come so far.
Now, back to door number 437.
Yes. 437. But you didn't say anything about... Oh, wait. What's this? Username access. Can we just turn off all the computers too? We can. Okay, that's lovely. Input has been received. I think that if you restart the game enough times to see all of these and you put in all of the inputs, then something miraculous will happen. 437. Yes, here we go.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Which one? There's a lot of copy machines. Yeah, this one?
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Here we go. Yes, 417. I'm running, bro. I'm running. 417 is here. The room 417 doesn't seem in like a great state, too.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Oh, it's cheating, though. 419, okay. Climbing on the desk. Are we on the desk yet? No.
Yes! This is great!
Perfect.
You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Few clicks? What is the few clicks, though? So, one isn't a few.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Okay, you seem awfully excited. You know, too excited, I would say. It's like, what are you doing there under the desk, bro?
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430!
I feel uncomfortable. I don't want to finish it off now. What exactly am I finishing off? Wait. There's 5 strokes and I finish it off, right? Oh my...
Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really
All right.
now, what were you thinking?
And now we know that the achievement is worth wasting a little bit more time than just 5 clicks. This game really makes you think and re-evaluate some of your beliefs, like chasing after achievements and stuff, like how entirely meaningless it is sometimes. Especially if achievement doesn't really mean anything. And it's not because it would mean anything now that we've done all the chores for him. It's more of it didn't mean anything in the first place. And while it is still kind of meaningless, at least it made you think about it. Anyway, this is the first time we are actually progressing the story, and we are nearing the one of the iconic scenes. So I'm just gonna shut up and let you enjoy this future sentence. Yes, I'm weird. Nothing you can do about it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yes! Yes, that's it. When Stanley came to the set of 2 open doors, he entered the doors on his left. Are we going to the left though? We cannot go back. So I guess we are going to the left. Oh.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
We need reviews. 402 plus 405 want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule, but I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers, more water cooler heaters, charts need to be more nip to, appeal to teenage demographic, find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Big net, some sort of child trap, a lot of percentage, teenagers, size of a demographic, space between the teenagers. Throw something in the idea bin. First, no more bins. Trash cans. Second, renaming of the idea. Firing of me. Ideas bin, alright. I'm confused. Success, nature, pollution, plant life, football, transcend, talk, mitosis, charge. What are your dreams for the future? Spring break. Tips for not getting fired. Tall class, do unbelievably amazing work all the time every day with no expectation of promotion or recognition. Don't get fired. Perfect. That's every HR should have something like this. This is beautiful motivation presentation. Yes, it is. How to solve dispute with a coworker. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header. And throw some bevel on all the... Okay, everyone is you. And everyone is unique. You most of all. You are the most unique of the unique. Right? None of these people are average. Every single one of them is unique. Just like snowflakes. Every snowflake is unique. You melt all the same though. This looks like meeting board in every like company ever. Oh. Guys, I get Chris out of broom closet. Chris isn't in a broom closet. What do you mean? It was waiting on the board. Oh, Chris?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here. So
But
he
Chris
turned
was
around
here.
and got back on track.
No. Okay. Okay. I'm going back on track, but in fact, you thought I was going back on track, but I'm in fact going back to the broom closet.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Again, I gotta say that for a broom closet, can there be like severe lack of
It
brooms.
was
There is like
baffling
one.
that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
But why do you have
He
only
wasn't
one
even
broom in
doing
a broom
anything.
closet?
At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Yeah, but I'm looking for Chris. And also, why is there only one broom in a broom closet? This is called a broom closet, but there is like a duct tape, there is like a
Are you really still in
branch.
the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please
wire.
offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
This is a mopping thingy, but only one broom. Why are the brooms? Why is it a broom closet when there is no brooms?
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Okay, but it's like, what if? You know, what if there is something in the broom
Maybe to
closet?
you this is somehow its own branching path.
Well, it is because
Maybe
you're
when
talking
you
about
talk
it.
about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Yeah, but I don't have any friends.
Stanley was fat and
so-
ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the
That
job
was
because
uncalled
of a family
for.
connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Nothing wrong with drugs and hookers. You know, it's my life. I can do whatever the hell I want. Who are you to tell me
Well, I've
what's
come to a
wrong
very
and
definite
right?
conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard.
Well, I'm dead
In a
inside, so
situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins
Hey,
to
Alastris.
decompose.
Alastis, come take care of
Anyone
my
who
dead
happens to be
body.
nearby,
Yes.
the person at this computer is dead.
I'm
They
dead.
have fallen prey to any number of your
I've fallen prey to a number of countless human physical vulnerabilities.
Remove their corpse from the area.
Remove my
and
corpse from the
instruct
area.
another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them.
You have too
Alright,
many
when
requests.
you've done that,
dude.
just step out into the hallway.
It will take care of and save. So this is what happened to Chris. Yeah, like Chris decomposed so much that not even a skeleton or teeth are in here. This is what's going to happen to me too. Now we are becoming a horror game for sure. Let me just sip my coffee. Okay, good.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee
Alright.
you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish?
We have
fungus?
monkey. Do we have
Look,
fungus?
you
Do
can
we have
hammer out the
fish?
details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just
I
be
have
waiting
cat.
for when you're ready to pick
I
up the
can,
story again.
I can give mouse to my cat, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure they would be very understandable or knowledgeable what to do with it. I really think that my cat is going to perform better than I do, or a monkey would. And all of that because you don't like the broom closet. Okay, what even make it this way, narrator? Like, why are you such a broom closetist? You're a racist against broom closets. And this is not even a broom closet, there is a singular broom. It shouldn't be called broom closet. If anything, it should be called, I don't know, wrench closet or duct tape closet or maybe like a storage unit. But not broom closet if you have only one broom. What kind of broom closet is this? No more? Nothing? Okay, I guess we're good. We will... I will be back for you. Don't you worry, broom closet, I'm not done with you. Next playthrough, we will be right back on track.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So downstairs is red. The red is scary, so we are going up. We're going up. Oh, should I go down? We have executive bathrooms. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What life would it be to have to pick just one? That's the most stupid poetry I've ever read in my life. This is coming out from one of those like idiots who have so much money, they don't have to worry about anything, and they are trying to figure out something deep, but they are thick as bricks. So literally, this is the only thing they can think of. This is just a testament and a proof that money cannot make you an artist, and money cannot make you any smarter. It can help, but it is not enough. Just often money and big ego goes hand in hand. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, no, there is a panda. Business strategy is to shoot the panda. Why? Where is the narrator, though? No narration of this elevator, is it? I hope. Oh, it's a Stanley song, so we're not going to get copyright struck for this. That's good. Lovely. So it looks like an elevator, but it's just a jukebox. Okay, that's fine. You know, it's one of those things that I would understand that the rich CEOs have in their office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
Okay.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
No, it's not. That's not quite it. That's not it either.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
What's this? What's this?
2845.
But I have 6969, dude. That's much more funny. Alright, maybe I could go like 69 and 42. 42? 42.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself.
I did
and Stanley got
it!
the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Okay, dude. You are so pushy. I'm going. Is that pizza? It looks like Link Plus. What's Link Plus? Seems like they're making like the walls out of it. Why is it also, I don't know. It's also like decrepit. You know, it makes you
Descending
think.
deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Okay.
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Would it? Whoa. This is kind of eerie.
Stanley walked straight ahead
this
through the large
literally
door that read Mind Control Facility.
What? Escape. I don't... Okay. I do kind of remember this escape round.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Okay, we'll see.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yeah, I have been intimidated. I'm going back. Maybe I still can. Maybe I still can. Is it open? Yeah, it's still open. Good.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Yes. I have so much to live for. There is another... Fuck. Well...
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see,
This is
back
another
when
ending,
the
by
Stanley
the way.
Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway,
Yeah, good for
when
me.
it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
That's great. That's a kick-ass song name.
Good job, you did it. Good job.
Song is lit.
3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful.
But I wasn't.
Used to be a bug, but now it's an ending.
Yeah, now it's a
ending.
feature.
I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. Railings don't mean anything.
Railings don't mean anything, bro.
You did it. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it. Good job.
You know, railings don't mean anything. Would be a kick-ass line to put on your gravestone. Like, I'm not gonna lie. If I ever have a gravestone, I want railings don't mean anything written on there. Just to confuse and horrify people.
You did it. Good job, 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 you did it.
Heck yeah! I did it! Railings don't mean anything. Railings don't no stupid railing can stop me. I can buck through it.
All of his co-workers were
Yeah.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed the memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first.
I'm
just
not going to
admire
the. I'm going to the break room.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring.
See,
It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed
yes,
room.
indeed.
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Honestly, yeah, this is where we're gonna take our break. So take 3 minutes. And we're gonna take 3-minute break long.
Yes.
Really
worth it being here in the room.
It was,
A
yeah.
room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Of course it was. So we're gonna take a break in the break room. Because that's what the break room is for.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy.
Yes.
And reflected poorly on his overall personality.
Yes.
It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Yes.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Dude, these clocks have different time than the previous ones. They're a few minutes ahead. That's peculiar. Nothing in this place works as intended. Maybe because nobody works here, actually. Right. Are we going this way, that way, or the other way? Do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. That's a good caution note. That should be everywhere.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do not jump from the cargo lift while in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $10,000. Penalty for jumping off a cargo lift, $5,000. But if I jump off the cargo lift and die, how am I going to pay the penalty? You know, that doesn't really make any sense, does it?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
What? Really?
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Yes.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Danger. Danger everywhere. See, it says on the sign right here. I don't know if I can trust you. What if you are the danger? I once saw a danger in the video game and it really was danger. Everybody died horribly. We made shorts out of it. 2B1. 2B1. 2B. Is it just like? Is it just me or is it just 2B the one? I want to be the one. I want to be the Neo. Okay, this facility doesn't make any sense. It's so fascinating because it is so backroomsy. But it came out before the backrooms were even a thing.
Now listen carefully, this is important.
Right.
Stanley walked through the red door.
I think I've talked about this before, but I've played this game multiple times. I played the original, I played the Deluxe edition. I even played the Half-Life mod back then. The Stanley is more about the art, about perception, about thinking about stuff rather than having some consistent story or some sort of grand revelation or spoilers. Sometimes I just boot up the game just to sit in the original first area of the game, and that's sort of like 80s office space, just listening to the white noise and thinking. That was my form of relaxation, and I was doing it quite a lot, especially when I was down and when I was working in corporate myself and didn't know what to do or how to cope. So the game is really special to me. It is telling a story about importance of making your own choices, but also not always you can escape the choices that you make or what is lying ahead of you. But it's also saying that the life can be adventure somehow. It's all about what you make of it.